On this day, in 1969, Apollo 10 was on its way to the moon. The final dress rehearsal before later that year, Apollo 11 would for the first time put men on the lunar surface. And I've seen news reports from the time where commentators would speculate that by the early 21st century, their grandchildren would be going to the moon on school trips. It would be an everyday occurrence. And growing up as a kid in the 1980s, I remember watching Tomorrow's World, where they said by the early 21st century, everyone would have flying cars or would even be teleporting. Instead, it's 2022, almost a quarter of the way through this century, and we've got this. A remote-controlled light-up butt plug. So why am I highlighting this product? Well, for reasons which I've yet to fathom, an advert for said product popped up on my Facebook news feed. What the fuck have I typed into social media that's meant the algorithms think I better know what this bloke wants in his life? And not only that, in order for this to be a thing, at some point someone has had to pitch that idea to a group of shareholders or a board of directors, saying something like, I think I know what the next big thing is. We need to get a cluster of colourful LEDs for people to shove up their arseholes. And for the director to reply, my God, man, I think you're right. Have we been so blind? Quick, call engineering and ask them to start tooling up. But, no pun intended, I realised that I hadn't screen grabbed the advert and I didn't fancy waiting to see if it had come around again. And I know people have all sorts of kinks and fetishes, but that one I thought will be very niche, so I'll Google it. And it transpires there isn't just one company making these light up butt plugs. There are dozens of them, with different specifications. Some of them have got voice control. Truly, we live in an age of wonders, where the technology taken through a smart speaker is being rammed up someone's tradesman's entrance so they can say the equivalent of, Alexa, please make my rectum look like Blackpool illuminations. And I found this photo of a young lady wearing said item. Because who doesn't love a lass who's using her jacksie like the bayonet socket for a 100-watt light bulb? Does anyone look at that and think, she looks like a classy lady, I'd like to get to know her? Because when I look at that photo, I'm thinking, if I were to end up in bed with her, I want a shot of penicillin and a condom that could stop nuclear fucking radiation. And I've just thought of another potential problem. Moths. Turn that plug on at certain times of the year, and whoever's wearing it will have the local wildlife flapping around their undercarriage. Some people might even think that they've flown out of said area. And I've been racking my brains thinking, who is this aimed at? And there's only one thought that keeps coming to mind. Most kinks and fetishes are born out of some sort of arrested development during childhood. That's why there's always porn versions of Star Wars and Disney films. But what about the generation who grew up watching the Fast and Furious franchise as children? The first film, The Fast and the Furious, is over 20 years old. It's also the only one worth watching. But in it, all of the cars used in street racing had light-up strips along their sills to illuminate the road underneath them. Is that what's going on here? Are people getting turned on by their partner wearing light-up butt plugs because subconsciously it reminds them of the Mazda RX-7 that was driven by Vin fucking Diesel? And as we mercifully come to the end of this video, I can only think of one scenario where I would use such a product. And that would be if I woke up in the night and heard someone moving around the house. Then I'd ram one up myself, get the light show going and scare the shit out of a burglar. As ever, thanks for watching.